minutes. Their minutes.
Well then, indeed.
Well then.
I just realized I could zoom in on the board, and I feel kind of dumb for not realizing it, because those cards are really detailed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Look at Corvus and his crows. Corvus and his crows.
Okay. I'm more mentally prepared than I am technologically prepared, so might not be as audio-visual as the other ones, but I'm ready. I'm emotionally prepared too. Are you guys emotionally prepared?
I don't know if I am.
I think you got this.
Come on, Abe, you're on the pro side.
I mean, I was. Corvus is all for this. Abe is not. I mean, we encountered him once and didn't kill him. I mean,
he survived.
Lee wanted to punch him real bad.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
kill him, and so he didn't kill us.
He didn't kill us, that's true.
Right. Like, I'm not concerned about us killing him at this point.
I mean, we could do it.
Our level 4
ship.
Who can say?
Who can say? I can say.
Who knows? Who knows
dead.
for sure what would happen?
You do. You know.
Maybe you roll really, really well. A lot of 20s.
There's my notes. Goodness gracious.
Pretty sure even if we were allowed to roll like 3 d20s and add the numbers, we couldn't take him on.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
In mists and shadow, under Ravenloft high, a game of stories, some truth, some a lie. With a troubled man and Vistana maid, Lee won the game, but Silas got laid. A debate was held. A debate was...
Oh, Dane, you're missing this.
Oh, I killed Abe.
So, I just was not expecting that. Okay.
A debate was held on which path to take, and whether Strahd's promise of safety was fake. Now, in the castle, our heroes bold will find out what the devil's lair doth hold. Welcome, friends, to Barovia. It's been a few weeks.
I'm gonna puke.
Our heroes are still in the Vistana camp. I believe you were just making your preparations to leave, because we did the game of stories last time.
Oh
so,
my god. That was amazing.
As you're making your morning preparations to leave, you find that there are many of the Vistani are traveling about the camp. Some seem to be setting out for the waters of the Tesser Pool to do fishing and foraging for the day and going about their other daily activities. You do not see either. You see the leader of the Vistani, Stanavir, who seems to be setting up a cooking fire and cooking some sort of a porridge for group breakfast. You do not see either Arturi or Eliza, who were in the game of stories with you last night. You do see Madame Ava is sort of wandering out, sitting by the fire with Stanavir at the moment.
What about the werewolf?
Who's that? I'm not biting that. I'm not.
What's his name?
I'm not taking that hook.
The other guy.
Arturi.
Yeah.
The guy who was clearly haunted by something.
Yeah. Late 30s, soft-spoken. He's not anywhere.
He was very soft-spoken.
But he's not anywhere.
He's not anywhere. He took his leave last night before.
That's
Remember,
right.
he took his leave pretty quickly last night. He said he has stayed too long and he dare not wait any longer.
He's gonna bite us.
And what phase of the moon is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say incidentally, for no reason.
Incidentally,
Yeah, with the moon effect last
it
night.
is.
Probably.
It was the full moon last night.
Yeah,
Oh.
interesting.
Oh,
Very
okay.
interesting.
We were on the 8th of October. You guys don't know that, but if you asked around at the Vistani camp, they would call this the Hunter's Moon.
Ooh.
The month of the Hunter's Moon, October. So there you go.
We're gonna die so hard.
Yep. Yep.
As you guys are making your preparations, I would say the Madam Ava. Who took the pack of who won the deck of Taraka cards from Stanavir? Who kept that last time? Remember you guys won a bunch of stuff for the story and you kind of divvied up some loot?
Not me. Looks like I got the book, the On Werewolves book.
Right.
I don't think
Written by Rudolf von Richten.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have
I
any.
think it might have been you, Abe.
I took the spyglass.
How do we? Where's our?
I have a deck of playing cards, but I'm pretty sure those are from my beginning.
How do we get to the stash?
Under
party
actors.
Actors. and
The
then-
party.
Yeah.
chat. Was it just in there?
Open sheet.
Nope.
Hmm.
Somebody has it.
Stash.
I wonder if Dane does.
Maybe it's Dane.
Oh, I bet Silas has it.
I don't see it in his either.
I will check my notes.
Yeah, it seems like something either Corvus or Silas would take.
I mean, I will gladly take them.
Whoever has it, Madame Ava would make some sort of a joke to Stanavir about, yeah, you finally lost track of that old deck of cards, did ya? I always knew you couldn't keep it for long. Yeah, he grumbles and says, I've been keeping it for over 30 years, you old hag. And they share like a well-worn smile between them. You can tell they have a bit of a long-standing relationship.
What should I call these other than just deck of cards?
You can call it it's a Taraka deck. Written Taraka deck, and it was from Stanavir, is who originally owned it. Madame Ava would say, Corvus, Raven friend, I heard you won those cards from old Stanavir.
Well, I just seem to be the holder of them currently, but yeah, you could say I won them.
Oh, he didn't win a thing, the old hag. It was, that Lee over there. Points over and she just, like, smacks him. I'll show you a hag. I'm sorry I couldn't join you last night, but the reading done me over something powerful.
Does it usually have such an effect?
It does at times. Depends on how strong the fates are pulling me. And these bones aren't as young as they used to be. It doesn't keep old Stanavir from chasing me down. He just rolls his eyes and grunts and goes back to cooking. She holds out a hand towards you, Corvus, and says, "Do you mind?"
Is she asking for the cards?
Uh-huh.
Well, least I can
I'll give
do.
him. I'll give him back, of course. You won him fair and square, least of all. At least your group won him fair and square. She winks at Lee.
I hand him over.
Lee kind of does like that, like, aw shucks, you know. Like,
Aw.
Nothing to be ashamed about being able to read folk. Especially being able to tell a false tale versus a true tale. That's a mighty fine skill. while she's looking at Lee and talking towards Lee, her fingers are actually working pretty deftly through the cards, as if like she's obviously like done readings and worked cards for decades. So almost as if like her fingers know what to do without her looking or thinking about it. But then she reaches out sort of a quavering, gnarled hand to yours and just grabs it kind of firmly, Corvus, and yanks it and slaps it down on top of the deck and pushes it back towards you. And she says, I'm thinking you'll need these. Maybe they'll give you some wisdom in the days to come. And you'll notice that there are a bunch of cards that have been pulled out of the deck and flipped face up on top of the deck.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, that was me reacting. Well, it's mighty fine of you, and I'm gonna kind of like nonchalantly.
She's still holding.
Oh, okay.
She's still holding onto your wrist and hand onto the deck.
I kind of look down at the deck, and then I look her square in the eyes, and I say, "Very appreciative of your kindness."
Can repay me with a kiss, boyo? And she points. She like tilts her cheek to the side.
Oh, I'm kissing her on the lips.
All right. So she guffaws, but she actually holds you close after you break the kiss, and she
Oh no.
Oh no.
She actually whispers.
Okay.
In your ear.
Oh. Whispers.
Yeah.
She's probably like, don't you go to that fucking castle. Don't you go to that castle. I did in fact see a whisper. Guys, it says test.
Mm-hmm.
What's he testing me?
It's a test if you can understand the hidden message. No pressure.
Oh, I forgot how pretty my dice were. Rolled my thievery to steal her love.
Uh-huh. Alright.
Okay.
So she just whispers a quick message, and then she lets you go with a smile and pats you on the cheek. You're a nice boy.
I've enjoyed your company too, and I'm gonna nod to her.
Right.
And I'll just say, I very much appreciate your hospitality in the evening. Again, I'm sorry you missed my song. It wooed many a person.
Oh, I heard it. Brought a smile to my lips, even as I rested. Now, stand of here. Breakfast for the road. These folks need to be off.
Andy, what's her name again?
Madam Ava.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you know I can't spell.
And I think I added them under the people. Under Tesserpool Vistani.
Oh, I should choose my spells very carefully for today.
Oh.
Although if I cast a spell on Strahd, he's gonna murder us, so.
That's actually a really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I want to pick the right spells, but also I should assume that he will know I am casting a spell. So I just want to have the right like oh shit spells. I'm not gonna like try to cast friends or any shit on him though.
I will. I'm gonna cast the shit out of
Oh.
friends.
Oh, I almost forgot this. Madame Ava blinks as if she suddenly remembered something, and so on says, one moment!" And she hurries off into her cart and comes back a moment later carrying a velvet pouch that is clinking with coins. She actually carries it to you, Lee.
Oh.
I'd ask a boon of you. Since you're traveling to Vallaki, I have family there, and I need some help if you don't mind.
Of course, anything you need.
In the town of Vallaki, there is a place called Blinsky's Toys. I'm hoping that you could buy a toy there. My great grandniece, Arabelle. Those toys are her favorite. You can keep the change, of course. Whatever's spare. But please, buy my grandniece a toy and deliver it to her. She's in the encampment southwest of Vallaki. Her birthday's in 2 days' time. If you could get it to her before then, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Okay. Side quest. 2-day deadline.
Yep.
Grandniece, what's her name?
Arabelle.
Arabelle. Okay.
And she gave you 10 gold pieces. No, not 10 gold pieces. We'll say it's 10 silver pieces. 10
silver.
gold's crazy.
Crazy.
That's D&D money.
Buy her a toy. What was the toy shop called?
Belinsky's Toys.
Valinsky's.
I don't know if this is going to be helpful or not, but we're going to use it. Rachel, I hope you pulled some more bag of tricks than what I did.
I don't know what to take.
There's so many options and they're all different.
Well, and I'm like nothing attacking, so it's not gonna do shit. And like nothing like where I'm trying to Trixie cast shit on him because it's not gonna work. I'm trying to like what's gonna be the best supporty stuff that might. Ugh. I'm just gonna take calm so I can keep Lee from getting us murdered. Cast calm on Lee every 5 minutes.
I'll be fine. I can take him.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you head out?
I don't need no spell preparation.
You're able to grab some food, prepare for the day, and head out by mid-morning. Let's get change. Sneeze? No? It's gone. Huh.
False alarm.
False alarm.
Oh, what's this?
Okay. So you guys head back down the path toward the River Ivlis Crossroads. It's the same worn path that you remember from before, where you encounter the raven that was being chased by the Strix, the scarecrow, silver-barbed creatures. In fact, as you start traveling down the way, the raven, who hasn't really been with you this morning, flies back to you all and seems to be tracking along in the trees above you. If you have any food out, Corvus, she would probably come and steal some from you.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna look up and go, well, hello there, friend. And I'm gonna pull some rations out of my pocket and kind of hold my hand up.
Sure. All right, so we can activate. Move you guys here.
So there's Ravenloft. And then where is the town?
Vlaki.
Yeah. Is it way over there?
Over where?
I don't know. It's not labeled.
Mm-hmm. If you would pull out the map with Irina, she would point here and say, "This here. This is Valaki.
Okay.
It is maybe a day's travel. Actually, sorry, I forgot. I made the distances more. Let's say that the quest for Madame Ava is 4 days time, because it's actually 2 days travel to Valaki.
Well, and but we're not gonna be back then, because if we're stopping at Strahd's tonight.
So Madame Ava said that her great grandniece lives in a camp outside of Valaki.
Right, so we don't need to come back with it. Right, okay.
I mean, you can come back.
Right, but okay, 4 days.
Yeah, she said there's a camp southwest of Valaki where there's another Vistani camp.
Okay, can we label this Valaki on the map
If I could.
with your magic eraser?
I don't think I added that tile yet. I didn't add that tile yet.
Yeah.
So we don't have to choose between two mutually exclusive side quests.
Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. It's always a little bit tricky.
Valaki.
Because it's always big. See what I'm saying? Oh, actually, that's not too bad.
Okay.
It lines up perfectly. That seems okay, actually.
Yeah. Great. I love it.
It's not perfect, but it's there. That's it.
Okay, because our goal is to hit Castle Ravenloft for dinner tonight, and then theoretically head to Valaki. All right. Does anyone remember what exactly he said as far as the safety he promised?
Wrote that
I
shit
think
down.
he said, like, basically
Yeah,
until
write
we
that shit
drop off Irina, he can guarantee
Till
our
we get her to
safety.
the church.
Yeah, get her to the
I
church.
think he was very specific about, like, passage until she, like, gets to the church. Where the hell did I write that down?
It's really like when we walk out of the church, we are in potential deep shit.
Yeah, we're walking out guns blazing. I know I wrote it down. I'll find it.
So we just never take her to the church. That's the answer.
Oh, wow. Maybe I didn't write it down. I literally ended with, I am Strahd. It's a pleasure to meet you. So, sorry.
But the next session would have been when he talked about it, though.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me look there.
Yeah, next session.
Join me for dinner. In fact, you believe my words to be true. All of you will have safe passage in my walls until you reach the town of Valaki. So it's the town. Sorry.
Yeah.
However, and he was very specific in saying all of you. I mean, it's possible he left off her That's just me as a player. That's all I'm saying. Also, Andy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it because I had to go get pizza because I haven't eaten all day.
I want
But,
pizza.
as soon as we were free of that clearing, I would have pulled out the cards and looked at them.
Sure. So where is it? Where is it? So there are several cards that have been pulled out. The cards that you see are they look like all like plain Taraka cards that you may or may not have seen before. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's a lot. Yeah, there's like 20 cards that are flipped out.
So there were several flipped away, several flipped up, and different.
About half the cards.
And someone asked me when I was walking downstairs when you described it, did the crow fly down to me while I held out food?
Yeah. It'd come pack some food. It doesn't like hang with you all the time, but it'll come down, eat some food, and then fly away again.
As it's kind of like pecking, whoever's walking close to me would say something like, so you must be one of them allies she was talking about. Nice to meet your acquaintance. I just kind of like pet its feather before it flies off onto the next thing.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, Corvus, you seem to be an expert in these feathered
In
flyers.
many things. Oh, yes, those two.
What's the difference between a crow and a raven?
Well, I would like to think it's its attitude. Crows seem to be in your face, while Raven is rather dignified, like this one.
The raven lets out a laughing sound from above.
See, it understands. I mean, even a human can be a crow, but no human can be a raven.
Interesting. Sounds like something one of my masters might have said.
I might have read his work. It's kind of like a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle can't be a square. It's similar. All I know is we gotta keep our cool and composure tonight.
We should assume he will know if we lie. We should assume he will know if we are casting spells. And we should assume that we can take him at his word only at face value. I think he can be held to the letter of the law as far as the promises he made.
I agree. I feel like someone of his intellect would be quite good at the words he chooses.
It would be better to say nothing than to speak untruth to him.
I'm gonna look over and forgive me because I can't remember her name. Who's the person that's traveling with us?
Irina.
Arena.
I look over at Irina and I say, how do you feel about all of this?
I have fear. Yes, this is the devil is the most powerful thing in this whole land. He rules over all. But if he wanted to kill us, he could do so at any time. I firmly believe this. And I think he must be stopped. And I believe that you all will be the ones to do it. Maybe not today, but perhaps this will provide some information, something helpful for us to use in the future.
I agree with
Not
that
today. This
sentiment.
is yes, not today. This is a war campaign, not just a skirmish.
Did you catch that, Lee? Not today.
He's like,
If
you don't have to worry about me. I'm not going to challenge him. Not yet.
if
But we'll
we
have to train.
yes, if we fight him now, we will die. Then she will look at Irina and say, "That is not to say that we will not defend you, even if it means our death."
Silas says, "That's right."
So if we die, we die. That doesn't mean we go seek it. But we have a unique opportunity to observe our enemy and learn more about him and use his arrogance and confidence to our advantage. Let him underestimate us until it is too late. Which is not today. Today is not the day that it's too late. Just so we're clear.
I think there's information to be gained. I've never been inside the castle. But surely the fight will lead there someday.
Ro looks at everyone, but makes intense eye contact with Corvus. It says, "Today is not the day for sneaky shit." Assume he has eyes and ears everywhere,
Well, I now take offense,
and we are
Ro.
not going to pull one over on
I
him.
have never been sneaky in all of my life, and I wink really just overly abundant at her.
Are you all sure that this is the path you wish to take? I do not want harm to come upon you, and for that to be on my conscience. This is not what you wish to do.
It's a risk, but it's an opportunity to learn more about our enemy. And I do think that he, in his way, will appreciate and respect our honesty.
He's powerful and dangerous, but I do not fear him.
She seemed pretty serious through all this, and she just nods. Well, we have several hours travel to go. Shall we?
Do this.
Let's do this. Has anyone been spending any time with Irina in any sort of training capacity?
What do we decide we were going to
Hint.
train her in?
Hint.
Great question.
I feel like Silas would be this whole time.
I think Silas was actually
This here
a
is
little
a
busy.
potion.
Hmm.
Silas
Yeah,
was a little occupied
Silas-
last night.
Silas woke up late.
Well, what do we want her to be good at?
I mean,
She only has 20 hit points. She's going to die.
she was using a sword, right? Like a rapier or something.
Yeah.
I would train her in sword fighting as we kind of go.
Do we want to keep her as a fighter? I mean, she's already started down that path.
Yeah, she knows some fencing. She's already trained in the rapier.
Yeah, I mean, fighter
You-
sounds fine to me.
You've caught her doing several. She's noble. She's like a noble stat block, so she has a lot of like social skills.
Yeah. Zero could work on like battle tactics with her because she's probably mostly like learned the sword as far as like dueling
Mhm.
rather than like scrappy, dirty fighting.
Listen, there's only one way to fight, and it's not scrappy, dirty fighting.
I agree.
All right.
Fights should be honorable matches between two opponents who are prepared and know of each other.
I mean, that sounds all well and good, but you are a very honorable man. What happens if the other is not so honorable?
Then that is to his disgrace, but I can't lower myself to that level.
And if it means your death,
Then so be it. I have to stand by my principles.
I'm gonna work on dirty fighting with her. Not even just like dirty fighting, just
Sure.
like not structured duel fighting.
Yep.
Like tactics and like what to expect from your enemy and how to like fight side by side with your allies. Like squadron tactic stuff.
Sure,
Andy, can I help with that actually?
sure,
But I would like to do it a specific way.
sure.
So behind Row, Corvus is like mouthing and like pointing different ways to like attack and point to just undermine the whole situation. But it's helpful. It's helpful. He's just also doing it to egg Row on.
So is he? It's helpful, but it's
It's
just-
like super sneaky fighting. Like I am showing her like really weak points to like stab.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think what you guys are describing, I'll probably be giving her leveling her in swashbuckler, maybe.
Sure.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
I can do that. She'll always be like, I'm gonna basically choose like how many levels she is behind you guys, and just keep her there. I'd probably say like 1 or 2. I'll have to figure out what Pathfinder says because I know the levels are pretty strict.
Mhm.
If she's too far below you guys, then she basically will be not doing anything in battles
Right.
ever, which is okay. But I also don't want her to like fold over and die to like 3 crits in a row or something.
Right.
Yeah, probably
Anyway.
either 1 or 2 levels behind
Yeah.
would probably be the best.
Because that way she's not going to be like overshadowing you guys, and she's going to be hitting like 5 to 10% less than you guys would be. But hopefully, isn't like taking a ton more. Crits are mostly what I'm worried about because especially bosses and stuff are usually going to be a couple levels higher than you guys, which means like 4 levels higher than her, maybe or more.
Right, they're gonna drop her
We'll
in
figure it
one
out.
hit.
Honestly, I probably don't even need to worry about it. It's not my job to keep her alive.
Ugh. Okay.
But she will be leveling alongside you guys. As long as you choose to keep her with you and keep training and stuff.
I mean, we're gonna drop her by that church, then we're out
For
of
sure.
there.
Yeah, you totally could. Anyway, we're going to start traveling up the road. So we go back to the woods. So you're traveling along these woods. It is a winding road going through these gnarled and thick trees that are slowly growing from old deciduous trees, as I believe this is the fall, with kind of, is this the fall? Man, I can't even remember now. Yeah, fall. These trees that are all starting to have these yellow-gray leaves to them. They're starting to give way into more of pine trees as you're clearly going up in altitude, several hundred feet probably over the next few hours. So you're climbing like a decently steep road that twists and turns back on itself up these hills. And before, where you had seen that the river that fed into the Tesser Pool begins at a great falls, hundreds of feet in height. And across the river at this place, there's a great gorge with a bridge. So I would say probably after 2 or 3 hours, you guys would have had time to chat and rest and otherwise be traveling up that way. But there it is. The mist ahead of you covers the far half of the Tesser Falls Bridge. As you guys are up here. There's both mist coming up from, seems to be ever present on the ground in these areas, but also coming up from the falls far below. You hear the thundering rumble of the great falls, the Tesser Falls, to your left as you approach the bridge. Oh wait, I think I have a thing for this. Nope, I don't have a thing for this. Okay. However, you see ahead of you on the bridge, through the mist, comes a skeletal war horse and rider, both clad in ruined chainmail. The skeletal rider holds up a rusted lantern that sheds no light. And seems to be walking the horse across the bridge towards you guys.
Cool.
Are we on the bridge, or are we like kind of like just prior to?
Yeah, you're at like the mouth of the bridge.
Okay.
Are they currently wielding any weapons, or is everything like stowed?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Also, what time of day is it?
It is probably midday by now.
Okay.
I see everything.
Yeah, great roll.
Nice.
You see that there is seems to be some sort of sword and a bow on this being. You also, with that roll, that is a critical success for this roll. You recognize the clothing from several days ago. You recognize this corpse. It is, in fact, the first thing you encountered after crossing over through the east gate into Barovia.
Oh,
Lying at the foot of a tree with 13 tally marks next to it.
Oh shit.
that corpse.
Yep.
Okay. Is the horse also a corpse?
Yep.
Okay. But it's walking, and the weapons are not like actively wielded.
They are currently sheathed.
This land sucks. Okay. Was there anything of note of the corpse? Like any?
It's moving.
I mean, when we saw it, when we first came through, like any like markings or like symbols or anything.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
You guys didn't spend too much time investigating it.
Okay. All right. Just keep walking.
Sure.
Be cool.
It keeps walking towards you guys.
Everybody be cool.
I kind of whisper to Ro. The old ones suggested there are allies in this land. He may not be a foe.
Lee will kind of like raise his arm and be like, "Hail!"
Mm-hmm. Um, so, the skeleton slows, and creakily you hear bone grinding on bone as it turns down towards you and just stares. Empty eye sockets, dark in the skull, staring at you. Oh, this was for sure like a body. It was an undecayed body that you guys saw 4 days ago.
Oh, now it's just a skeleton.
Not just a skeleton.
Yeah, do you recognize the clothes matching
Okay, but
perfectly the
it's
body?
like a clean skeleton, not like a rotting corpse.
No, these are bones.
Okay. You don't seem hostile. Are you friend or foe?
The horseman rides. The seer spoke true.
What did the seer speak?
The skeleton looks up, gazing sort of above you guys into the distance, and says, I could not escape. Death comes for all in this land.
Did you fall when you were trying to escape Barovia?
You asked if he fell while trying to escape.
Yeah.
The mists. None can escape. The horseman rides. The seer spoke true.
You think horseman singular or plural?
The horseman rides. The seer spoke true.
Are you one such horseman?
We seek allies in these lands. Are you one?
Um, so I must escape these lands. I must escape the mist. I must escape the seer's words. And that's 3. He starts walking by you guys on the horse. The horse just starts walking again on the road and begins to pass you guys.
What were the 3 things
What's
he
your
said?
name?
No. So he said, I must escape the mists. I must escape the mists. I must escape these lands. And
The seer's words. Got it.
Unless this year's words.
And then he starts walking away.
Uh-huh.
What makes you think you'll be able to escape in death what you could not escape in life?
Does not respond.
I think we hit our limit of questions, friends.
Now we know. Next time we find a skeletal rider, ask our 3 questions carefully.
That's right.
Well, fuck. I'm gonna look through the cards. Is there a horseman on those cards?
So you start flipping through the cards. There are many cards in there. So, at a glance, you're seeing some cards. The Executioner, a Ghost, a Seer. There is a Horseman. As you are flipping through the cards, go ahead and roll for me a secret.
Do tell.
Secret.
Performance? I'm really good at those.
Yeah. What are the skills? It's been a minute.
How you spell seer? S-E-E-R?
That is how you spell Seer.
Seer.
Really? I keep adding extra letters. No wonder. Google's like,
It's
dude,
like
this
C
is so wrong.
But then you've got
Roll
like
an
3 E's,
occultism.
that doesn't make sense.
Roll an occultism.
Seer.
A secret occultism. I want blind GM roll.
Seer.
Okay.
Damn.
So you, as you're flipping through these cards, you see the Horseman, and you're thinking about it, but the card right behind the Horseman actually draws your eye more.
Oh no.
As for a moment, you, out of the corner of your eye, sort of you're focusing on the Horseman, thinking about it, but like out of the corner of your eye, you see someone you recognize on the card behind it. And in your mind, you see a man of faith whose sanity hangs by a thread. He has lost someone close to him. And you swear in the Broken One card, you saw the face of Donovich. But when you focus on the Broken One card itself, it fades.
Which one's Donovich?
Father Donovich.
Yeah, he was the...
Oh, the one whose son... Yeah.
That's one that catches your eye so far. Yeah. Yeah, she, during your guys' epic Taraka reading, she pointed out one fated ally who will be crucial in your quest.
Fated or
Fated.
Fated. One
Your
fated
ally,
ally.
although, and she had an aside with Corvus. Definitely didn't seem to have as much. It seemed to be much more of a casual thing than her official Taraka reading with you guys, which definitely was full of Wuji stuff. But yep, the horse and rider will quickly fade into the mist along the road behind you guys.
When it fades, I hold up the fuck. I didn't write down the card, but the card that you talked about.
The Broken One.
The Broken One. Son of a biscuit. I hold up the Broken One, and I'm just gonna repeat her words to me. Many are the foes against us in these lands. Many can be allies. Read the cards and gather loyalty. I saw the face of the father in this card just now, and then it faded.
So are you saying this skeletal rider could be an ally?
Well, I feel that he gave us some hints. Uh, he must escape. Perhaps we didn't ask the right questions. Or perhaps this seer has doomed us all, and the answers are right here. And I hold up the cards.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit creeped out. She like looks around at the bridge ahead of you guys, and the mists all around.
Are skeletal riders not a common occurrence?
There are ghosts that walk through my hometown every night.
That's fucked up.
You saw them?
It's fucked up.
She
I
laughs.
was there.
It is, as you say, it is quite fucked up. She's lightened over the last few hours. She went from being pretty serious for like maybe the first half an hour, but you guys have seen glimpses of Irina. She defaults back to being a pretty curious and kind of lighthearted person. She's been kind of not dancing around, but she'll take like side paths into the forest quite often to go like pick some herbs or like a flower or go remark about some tree that she hasn't seen in some time.
Some shrubbery.
So she does seem to be finding some joy in this travel.
As we get closer to Ravenloft, I just want to keep tabs on her as far as like as we get closer to the castle, like I imagine she will be like nervous and stressed, but I want to keep tabs as far as like is she going to like panic attack mode or is she like normal levels of like this is gonna be weird, or I just want to I want to keep an eye on her because she is a wild card potentially.
Yeah.
And I don't yet know her or trust her, and also she has a complicated relationship with Strahd.
Yep. Sounds good.
So I want to make out if she is going to like have a big freak out and be a liability. I want to know before it happens. There's a chance.
Can we see the falls, or are they like kind of covered by the mists and stuff?
You can, yeah. They're actually probably only 30 feet or so off of the left side of the bridge, and then they fall several hundred feet down to the river below, making a kind of a pool at the bottom and then rushing off southeast towards the Tesser pool.
Okay. Lee will kind of pause for a bit, and he says, "You all can go on ahead. I can catch up, but I just want to take a moment to appreciate some of the few beauty that seems to be present in this land."
Mhm.
He's just gonna kind of like watch the falls and kind of like I don't know. I guess commit them to memory.
Sure.
And
Well, why don't it is almost midday. We could take a rest here and eat. This is the nicest place as any. Or are you hoping for some privacy?
oh no, that's fine if everybody wants to stop. I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate some of the natural wonders.
Do you guys want to take lunch here then?
Yeah, we can hang out unless Lee wants some alone time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he'll grab some food and then he'll kind of like climb up onto the. I'm assuming there's like a wall on either side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like climb up onto the wall and take like sort of like a cross-legged meditative pose and just kind of like watch the falls for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's not exactly. I'm trying to look for a good picture of it. It's fine. Yeah, you guys are able to have a nice rest. It is weirdly peaceful, and other than that skeletal rider, you have a decently nice little reverie, watching the falls, having a little bit of lunch. After about 10 minutes or so of sitting and eating, the reverie, however, is interrupted by
Cool. Barovia
howl
sucks.
coming from the south, met by
Like
another
how?
howl. Ooh, answering it
Where? Okay.
a little bit closer.
Oh, are we gonna fight? Do I need a snack?
Get that snack, Rachel.
Howls seem to be coming. There seem to be one howl and then a couple answering howls from different areas. One a little bit to the east, one a little bit to the west, but all a little bit south on the south side of the bridge.
I wonder if perhaps they got excited by that skeletal rider.
Do they sound after like a moment or two? Do they sound like they're getting closer?
You know the answer. You know it.
Right. Well, continuing onward after lunch, after another hour, you all are able to reach this area. So, when you get here, you see to the west the road continues along, but also branches here. I'll move her out of the way so you can actually see. But also branches to the east, where far and away you see the looming spires of Castle Ravenloft to the east. And in fact, at this crossroads, you see the familiar picture of a black carriage drawn by two black horses. And sitting in the driver's seat is a person you do not recognize.
At the crossing?
At the crossing, where Irina is right now. Ba, 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 ba.
Like your scar?
I got it. It is an elf, an old elf, wearing with like dark graying but dark hair, and a scarred face with severe features. He is wearing mostly gray and black clothes, swords at his hip, and studded leather on his body.
You look weird and
He
undead,
just sort of watches you all approach silently.
is he weird and undead, or is he normal? I think Andy has me muted. And I went downstairs to get a snack, and now he can't hear me.
Does this individual happen to be... What did you ask, Rachel?
Is he undead?
Is he undead?
Is he?
Oh,
weird?
is Rachel talking? Sorry, I have her muted. Otherwise, I'm gonna. Oh no, Rachel, I'm sorry. What?
I asked about the wolves. I asked about the driver.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, man, Andy's just like, well, fuck Rachel tonight. But then, now it makes sense. It makes sense.
What did you ask about the wolves?
I asked if it sounded like they were getting closer.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore.
Multiple single wolf cries,
Uh-huh.
but all coming from the south. Though they each direction only had like one cry.
Okay. And then I asked if the driver looks undead or not.
I don't know. Roll something.
Oh,
Okay.
You mean to roll it, Rachel? I'll roll it.
Yeah, roll it. Roll something.
You want
Roll
Give me
d20.
cheese.
you want a little perception, Andy?
Yeah, sure. That's good. I mean, looks like an elf. As much as like Strahd looked undead. Did Strahd look undead?
No,
I mean,
not really. Not like the... Well, didn't Strahd's driver look undead before, though?
he looked weird. I don't think he looked undead. Like
Yeah.
sickly.
He looked pretty.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
Does
pretty
this guy
good.
look pretty?
No, this guy looks like a warrior.
I
This guy looks like
carefully
he's seen some shit.
I
He looks like
carefully
he looks like he gives zero fucks about you guys too.
uh
He does stand as you guys approach, and he steps down from the coach and just stands beside it,
I'm gonna bow.
hands at his sides.
As I come back up from my bow, I say, "Are you the ride to Castle Ravenloft?"
I am here to convey you, if you wish.
I would imagine someone as dignified as himself would in fact send a carriage. Shall we, friends?
What is your name, good sir?
He doesn't have a name.
I am Rahadin, Chamberlain for Lord Strahd.
How long have you
Lee-
been his chamberlain?
Can't
He-
just ask someone that.
He just slowly turns to look at you, Ro, and
Mhm.
says, "Long."
I can't help but notice that scar on your head. Perhaps you'll call
Wow.
me brazen, but it seems that you're quite well versed in battle. I have a few myself.
Rahadin just stares at you for a moment. Just deadpan, just stares at you.
Well, at least we'll be
The
well
Lord
protected.
has asked me to convey you to the castle under offer of guest right. You are under protection for as long as you remain within the walls, so long as you respect this right.
What does that entail? Respecting the right.
I don't think he knows the definition.
Respecting the people therein and the property thereof. Or perhaps they do not teach hospitality where you come from. He turns towards you, Ro.
We are far from home. Customs differ across lands. I just want to be clear. What?
I can mute you now. Sorry, go ahead.
And muted.
I was hearing you twice. Different lands, different customs.
Right. We just want to be clear that we understand what we are agreeing to and what our expectations are.
Would it be easier if I wrote it down for you?
Sure, that would be great.
I would actually
Terms and
prefer that.
conditions.
Do you need some paper or something?
He you just see his chest rise and fall a little bit.
Guys, we haven't even made it to the castle yet.
We're just pissing
Oh,
off the Chamberlain.
Chamberlain.
Listen, I want this shit in writing. This right of whatever it is.
I turn to Irina and I say, I'll leave it to you. Do we go to the castle and introduce ourselves officially?
I mean, I have nothing else prepared for tonight, so I think that's probably a good idea.
Well, of course, DM, we'll go to the castle. I mean, Irina.
Yeah, we get in.
Um,
I'm gonna hand him a gold piece. I think I still have one.
Are you tipping him?
Damn right. it's customary in these lands, or at least where I'm from, to be complimentary to the drivers. And I hand him a gold piece.
One of us should ride up top with him and just
Uh,
talk the whole time.
So you hold out the gold piece, and he just walks away from you.
Oh, I'm getting in the front seat. Is there room up front?
No, there's let's see. There's like a coachman's seat in the front.
Just squish in next to him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up there.
Is he gonna stand up there?
Yeah. Well,
Instead of
it's the
giving him
only way to
gold,
see the land, of course.
You should give him like a couple copper pieces and then put it in his pocket, and then just.
Ask him if he likes his boss.
He begins. If you guys, does everyone else getting in the back besides Spartus?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. He starts the carriage, and after it starts, he's not even looking at you, Corvus. He just says, "You have the ability to fly, then.
So what?
In case you fall 1,000 feet, I'm sure it'll be fine."
Oh, fuck.
You look ahead towards Castle Ravenloft, and you realize that it is on top of a cliff that you remember seeing from the village of Barovia before. It didn't strike you until now, but that was probably like 1,000 feet above the city below.
Do these fucking horses fly?
Yep, they totally do. I am looking for anything
get in.
to
Get in the
strap
carriage.
in and
Get
grab.
in.
No, it's
Just
I've
get
committed.
in.
I've committed. It's fine. It's fine. Oh
Just
god.
hold on to his waist, like a motorcycle, and get in there tight, nice and tight.
Ride with the horses. It'll be fine.
So
Just get on
here-
the horse.
I'm gonna throw this at you guys now, just so you can remember like how high that castle was compared to the village.
Oh fuck. Fuck.
That's what's coming to Corvus's mind right now. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen this castle before. Oh no.
Well, I mean, I don't want to offend you. I'll simply get in the back. It's okay.
Your well-being is of no concern to me.
I immediately get in the back. Guys,
So in the
I
back,
think this carriage is about to take off. I would prepare for the worst.
it doesn't actually. A spooked Corvus gets in the back with you guys. You start wondering if this guy was just like messing with you as you're traveling along this road. There, like, nothing special is happening. It's just a road. It's kind of twisty and turny. It's going upwards. We're going upgrade like you were before. So you're wondering if he just was like trying to get you out of his hair. When up ahead you see there is a great chasm. There's a gatehouse in front of the castle. The gates are open currently, and beyond it is a great bridge that is spanning this chasm onto a separate promontory of rock upon which Castle Ravenloft sits. Let's see if I can find it. This is a good picture. Wait, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop.
Copy image. I'm just gonna put this in the chat real quick.
Do it live.
Yeah. There.
Yep.
So yeah, big bridge over a chasm, and then you're like, oh, maybe that's what he was talking about. As it is a fairly narrow bridge, and you would have been like, kind of hanging onto the side of a carriage, going over this giant chasm.
You guys just hear under Corvus's breath, I could have held on. I could have done it.
But in the back, there is a bottle of wine as well. This is during the travel. You guys probably have about another hour's travel along this road. There's a bottle of wine back there with like a wooden rack of clean wine glasses Actually, they wouldn't be glasses. They would be more like pewter goblets. Very well made and decorated. And there was also a letter that has been sealed with the seal I think you guys would recognize from the Durst Manor as being the seal of Ravenloft.
Is it really wine or is it blood?
You can make a nature check or medicine check.
I'm in on that. Oh, both of mine suck. So here we go. That's a badass symbol.
Yeah, Ro, it's wine.
All right.
Yeah, Corvus, it's wine.
Plus 14. Jeez.
I'm really good at medicine.
Wow.
That's what she does.
I'm an expert.
You know, wasn't that what Elderberry was doing?
Yep.
He was really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Rose sort of gestures to the wine and says we should keep our wits about us.
Well, of course. Pour us a glass. That's not what you meant, was it?
No.
Could be a good vintage.
I'm sure it is. We should open this letter. What's the label on the wine?
It is Wizards of Wine.
I open it.
I actually...
Do you have an image of the Wizard of Wine?
No, but it is from the Wizards of Wine winery.
We've seen that before, right? At the
Yep.
Durst house.
It is called Champagne de la Stampe.
Oh. There's one vineyard in all of Barovia.
I mean, I don't know exactly who has money to be splurging on fancy wine.
I mean, Strahd, clearly. I'm sure it's a great wine.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm opening that and I'm taking a swig.
Yeah.
I'm not pouring it in a gauntlet.
It is a sparkling wine. It is very good.
You're just gonna get straight out of the bottle?
Straight out of the bottle. I hold it out to
We should just
Lee.
show up to dinner drunk. Listen, we pre-gamed.
Corvus is going for it. You can't turn...
Lee, it is a mighty fine sparkling wine. I mean, just a swig won't hurt, probably.
The bubbles start going straight to your head.
Fuck.
The letter, if opened.
Yep.
And actually read out what it would say, but it is a simple welcome letter. It says, "Honored guests of Barovia, it is my pleasure to welcome you to a dinner with me and my family."
Oh, shit, his family?
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Thank you for accepting this invitation.
Oh, God.
I stopped drinking. I didn't know his family was gonna be
It was
there.
like kids, in-laws,
Could be a
siblings.
spouse,
Oh,
a
shit.
brother.
I've been holding onto that one for like weeks to drop on.
Mima and Pop.
That's right.
I sternly look with my glass-eyed over my glossy-eyed over eyes, and I look at Irina.
Yeah, you're not drunk yet.
Oh, thank God. Irina,
It's like champagne, like immediately gets your.
how many villages have gone missing?
Irina, looking at the letter. This is Barovia. Many go missing.
Fuck.
It is. It is known that Strahd he has been known to take those that interest him for consorts and brides. I do not know how many he has, but it is many.
Andy, I will spend the rest of the carriage ride looking through the cards for anything about food or wine or dinner,
Sure.
like anything that would be similar to what
Sure.
we're about to walk into.
Sure. The Taroka cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You start looking through. Being untrained as it is right now, I'm going to say you're going to be doing about as well as like Abe would do, flipping through a tarot deck
Hell
and coming
yeah.
to your conclusions. So you're welcome to come up
Amazing.
with whatever you want roleplay wise.
Okay.
You just want to Google some tarot card pictures and see what happens.
I'm on it. I'll be back in a
Or
minute.
Taroka card pictures and see what happens. But as far as what you can do with these tarot cards, if you want to make it like a downtime activity, you are welcome to try to attune yourself to these cards and get better at reading them, which you think is just going to take some practice, insight, and a little bit of Wuji magic, maybe. Whatever Wujiness the Madame Ava had.
Gotcha.
But as far as the reading right now, you just don't think you're going to have the training to just whip one out on the fly.
Whip it out.
Whip it right out.
Don't whip it out in the carriage. We're all in here.
Whipping it right out in the carriage. God damn it, where's the spelling of those stupid cards? There it is.
You hear the creaking of gates opening before you as you begin to cross the final bridge
Is there
over
a
the
window?
chasm.
Is there a window in the carriage?
Totally windows. Yeah, you can see all this.
Yeah, I wanna watch, and I wanna assess the attackability of the keep.
This is just about the most defensible keep you've ever seen.
Cool.
Just by the fact that like it's not even a fucking moat; it's a 300-foot chasm.
Feel good about that.
On this side, on the other side, from what you've seen from the Barovia side, which would be like over here. Oh wait, you guys aren't even on this page anymore. Sorry, I was on the map. So like on the Barovia side, it's more like 1,000-foot cliff on that side. So if it's a well-stocked keep, it could be very defensible. But that being said, excuse me while I whip this out.
Defensible, defendable, defensible. I don't know. It's fine.
When I was young, I thought that it was defensible.
Well, defense has a C. Is it defense with a C-able?
Defense can also be S. Defensible.
I'm leaving it.
S-I-B-L-E.
I think
S-I.
C is
Not
like the
able,
British
but
spelling.
able?
I think S is American spelling. I don't know.
Is it A-B-L-E or I? Like
I think it
able,
would be
you are
defendable.
able to defend.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Defensible?
see,
I'm putting defendable.
I'm pretty sure, Irina, this card represents you. It looks like you. It's got a sword, and then like you train good, and the tax collector's coming, and a beggar's gonna. I have no idea what these mean, and I put them back in my pocket.
Battle map.
Oh, that's a very defensible castle we're going up to.
Jeez. Okay. Should I roll initiative? I'm gonna roll initiative.
Oh no! What is not loading on my screen?
Why is the elf outlined in red?
No! What is happening? Oh
Okay.
no!
I should have prepared totally different spells. Ugh.
Guys, welcome to Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, fuck.
Are there plants? Is it beautiful?
So, great question.
No.
Thick, cold fog swirls around this courtyard. Dismal rain starts to fall as you enter, becoming a torrent. You feel it as you were crossing the bridge. It starts to become a torrent. Lightning routinely lights the sky, followed by peals of thunder that make the castle shudder. Through the drizzle, you see torch flames fluttering on each side of the keep's open main doors, which are ahead of you here. Warm light spills out of the entrance, flooding the courtyard. High above the entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged in its iron frame.
Why?
The walls that enclose this courtyard are about 90 feet high. They're very tall. And the dark towers of the castle rise even higher. The highest, it's hard for you to even imagine, maybe 300 feet above the castle. It's a very tall tower.
Guess we're gonna die.
Rahadin, so he kind of pulled the cart off to the side here, and stepping out, he motions towards the doors up here and says, bring no harm to the people therein or the property thereof, and no harm will come to you by guest right. Ignore it at your peril. And, in fact, he motions over towards the front door. You see two figures standing there, waiting. Actually, they're probably just coming out, having heard the carriage. The door is open, and there are two figures there. And he starts to walk off to the horses. Wait, did I miss someone? Rachel, where are you?
Am I not there? I'm there.
You there?
Oh,
You
you're
don't-
under.
You don't have Irina. Oh, there she is.
Do you guys see all those, like, the letters and numbers and stuff?
No.
No.
I also don't see
Great.
figures over here if they're actually figures we can see.
No.
So they are currently underneath an awning. So
Oh.
you can't see the figures because they're under an awning on the image.
Fucking
Oh.
fucks. Alright, friends. Here we go.
So you said it's raining. Are we like getting soaked as we walk in?
It's pretty rainy, yeah.
Lee, you're supposed to wear a brim hat. It'll protect you from all the elements. Fuck, there's a goddamn awning? That's so cool.
Who
Nope.
the hell are these people?
Are they glowing? Fuck.
There are torches glowing reddish orange.
Oh my
here
God.
We're gonna fucking die.
you go.
All right, here we go.
Oh my
Are they
God.
both hot ladies?
Ladies. No, in fact, let me share.
There are
One of them
ladies?
is a lady. Show players. That's one of them.
Oh,
Okay.
she's trouble.
Yeah.
You don't know, and you do
I do
recognize
know.
the second one. You've seen the second figure before, as the coachman.
Ah.
Which is the friend, right? The friend who went to attack the
He's-
castle.
He's very pretty.
So two really pretty people are at the door.
Yep.
Cool.
I'll put 'em
Are
on
they?
notes.
Do they look friendly?
Yeah. In fact, they seem to be laughing and talking to each other pretty jovially as you approach. The woman and says, "Oh, hello, guests. Welcome to our castle.
I hate her.
I am Anastasia."
Oh my God.
Let's wait. What? We need. Okay, Anastasia.
Oh yeah, you guys are about to get a whole bunch of people. I have
Oh.
a page just started for you guys. Don't worry.
Oh thank God.
All right, don't fuck up their names.
Mhm.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Shit, did I not write down her last name? I'm a fool.
She doesn't
Uh,
need
Come on.
Not with a first name like that. It's
one.
like Madonna
French,
and
She just has one name.
Barovia.
One job. Anastasia Kirillova, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Castle Ravenloft.
that last name ring a bell? Because I feel like it rang a bell with me as a person.
I don't know.
Only if they were like any of these people were the guests of the Durst Manor, we might recognize them, but
No,
probably
Okay,
be it.
cool.
negative. So okay, I'm about to add some stuff to the people under Strahd's retinue.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
So if you guys want to have notes, that's fine. Doesn't matter. And I am sure you've all met Escher before. Our newest addition to the family. She reaches out and sort of like strokes his shoulder a little bit. They were both like having a pretty genuinely like seemingly fine conversation. But when Escher's visibly like unnerved a little bit now that you guys are here. Not like a ton. And in fact, he quickly says, "Yes, welcome everyone. It's good to see you all. Irina." He just gives her sort of a curt nod.
I want to,
She is like bristling now.
yeah, I want to go see how Irina is doing.
She's not. You get the feeling that Irina's not great at like covering up, or at least like from the moments you've seen, maybe she just doesn't care. But she doesn't do it very often where she
Yeah.
covers up her emotions. But she just looks at Escher and says, "It seems like you are making yourself at home, old friend. Last I saw, you were leading many of our friends here to their deaths." And
Love her so
Anastasia
much.
says, "Well, we could dwell in the past, or we could try to make a good future together. Come, please. You may enter." Just a little joke. She walks in. And Escher sort of starts to follow behind.
Okay, everybody be cool. Everybody be cool.
And so, was your travel here satisfactory? Rahadin didn't get under your skin too much, did he? He's a little bit of a... Well, he can be a bit rude sometimes.
Well, he wouldn't let me right up front, if that's what you mean.
What a pest. I'll talk to him. Don't you worry. She gives you a smile.
You just tattled on him with the manager.
I mean, I'll smile back.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Anastasia, we know that Escher has just recently come to live here, but how about you? How long have you lived at Ravenloft?
Oh, well. She been here for quite some time, though I'm by no means am I the oldest of the brides.
Right.
Don't like that.
I suppose now it's brides and consorts, she says, giving Escher a wry smile. Escher just sort of like shrugs and says, "Irina, life is good here. I think we can do some good for the land here. Besides, there's lots of fun to be had. Come, please." Anastasia is right. This is a night to celebrate our new arrivals to the land.
And Anastasia, was your arrival into the family as tumultuous as Esther's?
Well, you wish to speak of my wedding day or wedding night?
I am just curious if all of Strahd's family were acquired in similar ways.
Are you looking to acquire something yourself then?
I am most definitely not.
Naughty. She, I can describe this room. So the outer doors, inside here in this chamber, in each of the four corners here, there are four statues, stone statues of dragons glaring down towards the center of the chamber here. And there's another set of double doors which Anastasia now opens. You all also begin to hear the sound of organ music.
I mean, is it
Wait,
good?
I think I don't actually have organ music, but you can turn off this thing. I'm going to turn on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's do this one. And there it is. Thunderbolts and lightning. Frightening me.
When Escher says, like, maybe they can do some good for the land, Lee kind of like snorts, but he doesn't say anything.
Sure. All right. Maybe get to head in here.
Okay.
Actually, this should be in the middle. Please, welcome. This chamber. Now let's sound a little bit. There we go. Cobwebs stretch between the columns that support the vaulted ceiling of this great dusty hall. There are sputtering torches in the corners. They look like they're recently lit, actually. They look like kind of their old torches, and you see there's some frayed ends of cobwebs that have like recently burned away. So it seems like these torches probably haven't been lit in a little bit of time. They cast odd shadows across the faces of 8 stone gargoyles squatting motionlessly on the rim of the dome ceiling above you. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by decay. You see double doors of bronze over here to the east. And to the north, there is a wide staircase that climbs up into darkness. That are coming. I actually need to have Irina here so that I can actually see. I can just click on Corvus. Yes, vision is working well. To the south, there's another set. You see there's an opening there into another chamber, where you see another figure working at a desk against the far wall.
Okay.
It is an elf. No, sorry, it's not an elf. It is a woman with dark skin and long dark hair that's sort of tied up in intricate braids. Also in this chamber, you see Escher. He actually goes up to a harp with a stool next to it and begins to pluck along with the organ music from the other room. And also in here is a almost... In fact, Corvus, you may get like to about where you are now until you realize you're standing next to someone, because the figure's coloration matches so well the shadows and color and texture of the column behind her that you realize that you're standing next to not a statue. It seems to be some womanly figure in a wedding veil and gown. Just silently standing there quietly, right beside you.
The ghost.
Oh, my apologies, miss. I didn't mean to get so close unintentionally.
Anastasia says, "Oh, I wouldn't mind Sasha. She is the most senior of the brides."
Oh, shit.
Escher kind of like snorts at that. Sasha doesn't say anything, but just sort of like stares at you, Corvus. You see faintly glowing red eyes behind the veil.
Cool.
Corvus, maybe take a step back.
How many brides does Strahd have?
The Anastasia begins to say, like, Well, in fact, there are. And Escher says, "Oh, come on, Anastasia. Let her rest for a minute. Let me talk for a bit." Sorry, he's in a Barovian accent. I forget he's from Barovia. And he actually begins to pluck the harp along with the organ, and not quite like singing along to the music, but his accompaniment does match the organ music. And he says, "The first of the brides is Sasha Ivliskova." I'm just going to add these guys to you. "Hundreds of years ago, though lost to time, she was the first chosen by our Lord Strahd. The next of us, Ludmilla the Wise." He nods his head behind him towards the woman in the next room at the desk. Anyone glancing over just sees this figure kind of like roll their eyes and go back to whatever they're working on the desk.
What's her name? Lilia the
Ludmilla.
Ludvilla?
Ludmilla.
The vibes.
"Fair and learned, a scholar is she. Next, of course, comes our dear Anastasia. She," I need to figure out how to do this in Barovian accent. "She is the one who does best with our guests. And just before me, there's Volenta Popovsky. I don't have much to say about her." He gives like a nervous glance towards Anastasia. Though she's kind of crazy. Anastasia butts in a little bit and says, "She's not here anyways, dears, don't worry." Escher rolls his eyes and says, "Anastasia, I was in the middle of a thing." He goes back. "Last, of course, is the dashing Escher. Hero from..." He stumbles a little bit as like he can feel the glare of Irina next to him. "A warrior from Barovia who found the truth with our Lord. But besides all that, we are here for celebration. For all of you to see what these lands can afford." He continues plucking and finishes with a flourish.
Ro looks to Anastasia and says, "Are all of the brides and consorts from Barovia, or did any of you come through the mist?"
That's a good question.
She smiles at you and says, "My, you have a lot of questions. Perhaps a little bit of wine might loosen all of our lips." And she sort of just raises a hand. And you hear a bell tinkling.
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
I will answer for myself, though I would hate to answer for anyone else. Is there secrets to tell? Of course. I'm from Barovia. As you know, Escher is as well. From the passage to the south here, you begin to see trays of food and drinks, pitchers of drinks, floating through the air across the hallway, basically starting from this direction and going across to there, where you hear a door open and the trays seem to be floating through. A voice beside you, Ro.
Nope.
You notice that Sasha is beside you, and she says, a whispering voice says, "I was born here."
Cool.
Nope.
Ro kind of smiles at Sasha and nods.
Mm-hmm.
You have been here for so long. I'm sure you have seen much. What did you do while Strahd slept?
Ro, you were on point tonight.
I do as the Lord wishes.
What did he wish while he slept?
I slept. No, she would say, I rested as the Lord slept. She fades from view.
Okay.
Ooh, cool. Is Anastasia a redhead? Anastasia?
Oh no, she is a long brown hair that's up into like a pretty intricate um.
Okay. So it's not like all of these people are redheads.
No,
Like,
no, not at all.
he is not like that. Okay.
Not at all.
Not that finished.
In fact, the only one visible that you see is Irina.
Okay.
Because Escher's super blonde, as in like what a lot of the people in Barovia that you saw were blonde. He's really good on the harp, by the way, Corvus.
Yeah, be impressed, Corvus.
No, I'm gonna summon a
Little challenge.
I'm gonna summon a viola, and I'm
Viola?
gonna yeah,
Sure.
a viola.
Oh, okay. That's a choice.
And I'm gonna kind of like come up beside him,
Oh.
Yep.
and I'm gonna try to like match and then outdo his
Whoa.
grand finale.
Sure. Roll it.
I'm gonna wink at him while I do it.
Nice.
I mean, it's not good.
You pretty much match his energy and style. You don't feel like you exceeded it, and he just you see he gives you a little bit of a side glance, and you catch like just a momentary wisp of like a bitch what kind of look, right? But that quickly gets masked over, and he just sort of nods appreciatively. I was not expecting to have some accompaniment to my own accompaniment, but this is fine.
Well, I didn't. I felt a single harp just didn't do justice to these grand halls.
And Astrazi says, "Oh, did you hear that, Escher? He felt like your harp didn't do justice." Escher, just like, what would he say? He probably would have a clever retort. Um, he would say, "Well, some would say that until I got here, nothing in these halls was doing the halls justice, save our Lord. But
Oh,
thankfully, I'm here to brighten things up."
I'm gonna lead into Escher.
Sasha fades from view.
You're a mighty fine harp player. I didn't want to overdo. Just simply wanted to accompany.
Oh, don't worry. You did not overdo.
Oh, the night is young, and I'm gonna walk away. And I'll walk away.
And you walk away. Where do you walk to?
Over here.
Can I get a sense of Escher and Anastasia? Is there like affection there, or resentment,
Sure.
or like any like underlying? What is their relationship?
Can roll a secret perception check.
Actually, I think I'm gonna go this way.
Okay. They clearly are making like jibes and barbs at each other, but they also are clearly making jokes with each other. They both are also very clearly skilled at manipulating their own emotions and how they're perceived. They're very hard to read. You're having a very hard time reading them. Whether this is how much of which parts are genuine and which parts are fake. You know that parts are fake because like you've been around enough people to know that like charisma in general means that some things are faked. But
Sure. Okay. Hard to read.
mm-hmm. Oh, the door is shut behind you guys, by the way.
There's not like blatant hatred of one another or anything.
Not that you can tell.
Yeah.
Let's see. Come from.
Lee kind of gestures at like the dust and cobwebs that are around, and he says, "Seems as though you don't get too many guests here."
And Anastasia smiles and says, "Sadly, very true, but we are so happy to have all of you."
He kind of like gives like a little bow,
Mm-hmm.
courteous bow.
I want to walk over to Ludmilla. What's her name?
Ludmilla.
Ludmilla. I want to walk over to her.
Yep.
And as I approach, I will say, "What are you so hard at work on?"
You see that this. I will now share a picture of Ludmilla.
No, it's probably fine if you don't.
You know, you're gonna like her.
I don't.
You're gonna like all of them.
I don't think I will. Oh no.
She has claws. She has claws for hands.
No, those are just long nails.
Yeah, Ludmilla is sitting at a desk. She is not writing at the moment, but she seems to be reading over some papers that are laid out. You asked her what is she working on?
What is she so hard at work on?
Yeah. She looks up at you and says, she looks at you for like, she says this like cold stare for like a beat and a half. And then she smiles, not like, in some ways it's for sure not a genuine smile, but she's also not trying to make it a genuine smile. Just like a, I'm working. I didn't even think about a voice for her. I am working on ways to improve our Lord's lands. Oh, hi, kitten. And good work never rests, she says as she begins to gather up her papers. Look at all these people we're adding.
Oh, so many people.
Escher, to you, Lee, says, "You seem like the strong, silent type. I like that. What's your name?"
My name is Lee Pekdu. He holds out holds out his hand.
Escher, yeah, he'll shake your hand.
Break his bones, squeeze his fingers so hard.
You're probably stronger than him.
He'll like give him a
Seems pretty strong.
handshake, but he's not gonna try to like crush his fingers or anything.
Sure. Ooh, strong handshake. Very nice. You seem a little tense. I understand. I get it. I understand. Perhaps we can get you something to drink?
Certainly, you must understand how unusual of a situation this is.
Yeah, he kind of nods sympathetically to you and says, "I know exactly what you mean. And yet, I often wonder if he wouldn't say it like that. He would say, we could not choose the situation we are in, but make the best of the situation we are in. I think you may find things are not as bad as you may expect. I hope so." One of the trays actually comes over holding 2 pitchers. One of the pitchers is filled with a red liquid, and one is filled with a purple liquid. And Escher grabs the one with the purple liquid and starts pouring it into a wine glass. Sort of giving you a, like, huh?
And he kind of raises an eyebrow. Wine?
Yes.
And he shrugs and he'll accept the glass.
Sure. Yeah, he'll start filling wine glasses for people. He would fill some of the red liquid for himself and Anastasia. After he finishes serving whoever around wants the wine, he would pour you all wine first, and then he begins to pour some.
Can I get a read on the red liquid?
Yeah.
Is it a medicine check?
Do you think you need a medicine check?
Is it blood?
Yeah, Lee will just.
Are they drinking blood?
He says, "That's blood, I presume." Being what you are.
Strong, quiet, handsome, and smart. He just lifts the glass to you and says, "We also drink when we are able." He says and drinks a bit.
Well, the wine comes from the, what was it? Wizards of Wine.
Wizard of Wines, yes. Winery far to the west, in Kresk, near Kresk. We have them send some vintages. We get shipments every month or so.
And the rest, where does that come from?
He says, personally, I like to mix some half and half.
Lee's gonna kind of like sip on the wine, but he's gonna be like nursing it, real slow.
Sure. Here, the doors to this hallway open up. You see a dark hallway behind And Rahadin walks through, shutting the doors behind him. Says, "Dinner is served," and just begins to walk past you guys.
I mean, perhaps some directions of where that would be helpful, but
And
that's
he opens
fine.
the door. He opens the door and just like gestures through like this.
Oh,
He
I
opens it.
see. Okay. Is he always so...
Ludmilla walks by and just gives Rahadin a nod. Walks to the table.
Ludmilla, is he always so talkative?
Yes, she says.
I toss the viola on the ground.
Sure. Does it disappear in magic?
It does, after about 45 more minutes.
Oh, sure. Less spectacular, that's right. And Estrasia says, "Oh, you two are so difficult to have at parties. Yes, my dear Corvus, they are both very inhospitably untalkable. But never mind that, you have plenty of other good hosts that can help with the conversation and entertainment." She gives like a long suffering look over at Asher, who just like nods to her.
Well, there's assigned seats, so do we get to pick who we have the pleasure of company with?
As you enter, across the way from you in the dining hall, above you see three enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminating this room much more than the other rooms were. There are pillars of stone standing against dull white marble walls that are all supporting the ceiling here. And then in the center, you see that long banquet table covered with a fine white satin cloth with many delectable foods. You see like roasted meat of some kind and some brown savory sauces, roots and herbs of every taste, fruits, vegetables. And there are fine, delicate china set at every place with silverware. And at each place is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid. And then at the center of the far west wall, there are two floor-to-ceiling mirrors on either side of a great pipe organ. The pipes are currently blaring out a thunderous melody that speaks in its tone of greatness and despair, the same melody you've been hearing since you entered, that Escher was accompanying before. And seated at the organ, facing away from you, there is a single caped figure, pounding the keys in raptured ecstasy. They stop as a deep silence falls over the dining hall as you begin to enter, and slowly turns towards you. "Welcome, all of you. I am glad you could make an appearance at this humble feast. I was hopeful that you would accept my invitation, and I am happy to see that the what would he say? That the respect of foreign lands still is strong." And he gives like a slight bow towards you all. "Please make yourselves at home. Sit wherever you wish."
Corvus and Ro, I think you guys should sit at the heads of the table.
That's really tempting.
You're going to walk this way. You can race him toward it if you want.
No, I don't think I'd race him towards that one if
No.
that's the way he's going.
Shotgun.
But I would nonchalantly walk towards the other head of the table just to see what happens.
You notice that Sasha is sitting in that chair as you approach it.
Slow.
Well, I was gonna pull the chair out for you, lady, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, she's already... Yeah, you didn't see her there a second ago.
Quite impressive, the speed in which you can move.
Corvus, you're close enough to her it's hard to tell beneath the veil because the face is there. You've been catching several moments where she hasn't really been looking at people much, just sort of saying random things and then disappearing. She is currently staring at Irina.
Oh.
If you want to discern more about that look, you're going to need to have some sort of a perception check.
No, I'm in it to win it. Here we go.
Don't forget you got a hero point.
Do I need to use the hero point, Andy?
Would you like to use a hero point? Was that a secret roll?
I did do it secretively.
What number would be your goal for? I don't know how important this roll is for you. So if you want to say like anything 5 or lower, I want to reroll. Or anything 10 or lower, I want to reroll. It's up to you.
It's 1025.
Fuck it, yeah. If it's
Now you
5
gotta
or
judge.
below, I'm re-rolling it. No,
Oh, 10 or below.
10 or below.
Okay, roll it.
Fuck. What was that? A perception check?
Uh-huh.
Secret perception.
Wasn't a crit success or failure.
Choo-choo! You see, not very well, not hidden at all, really. This figure, she's not really trying to hide whatever it is. She's feeling. You see some like worry and pity on her face as she's staring at Irina.
I'm gonna sit right beside her.
Sure. Irina, step over here. As you all sort of get filtered in, Escher seems to just sort of like wait to see if, not really choosing to take a seat until you guys figure out where you want to sit. Just politely standing back. Anastasia very quickly sits down right in between Lee and Irina unless someone heads her off.
Alright, I'll go. Nope, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah,
Yep.
right beside Strahd.
Here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be good. Somewhere Silas is like,
Oh, I don't know where to sit. Where should I go?
Rodin
you're not welcome here. Get out of here, Rodin.
stands against the wall, and Strahd says, "Please, Rodin, old friend, join us. Relax. Everything is well." And quite silently, he does head over and
Jumps over the table.
sits. Unfortunately for the final of our family, my dear Volenta Popovsky, she was unable to make it tonight. She is on other business in parts of the realm. We are, let me say, while it is certainly my honor to host our new guests to this land, it is equally an honor that tonight we have with us our Ludmilla, back from one of her recent expeditions. It is rare that we would have both at the same time, and for that, a celebration is in order. He raises his glass in a toast. So there are, whatever glasses you guys brought in with you, there are also glasses of some sort of amber liquid in front of you all.
Lee will raise his wine glass.
Sure.
I'm not sure about the amber liquid.
Silas is in here too.
Sitting on her lap.
Yep. So yeah, there's a feast in front of you all. Please, everyone, enjoy. I would love to hear about the land you come from. How you came to my humble kingdom, Please, Lee, where do you come from?
Well, I actually know not what the land itself is called, but I trained at a mountain monastery, the Clear Sky Mountain. Prior to that, I was just a simple farm boy. But as far as how I got here, well, let's see, what was the name of the town that we were in the first session?
Daggerford, I think.
Yeah, Daggerford.
We're never gonna
As
make it
for how we
back.
got
Doesn't
here,
even
well,
matter.
we were gathered in the town of Daggerford looking for a lost hunter and ventured into the woods and somehow ended up at this strange manor, the Durst Manor, I'm sure you know well. And from there, we got lost in mist and came into these lands. Not through our own intention, but through, I don't know, the vagaries of fate, I suppose.
Ah, such is always the way. Fate leads us in directions we did not expect, and into actions we would never expect to have taken. Would you not agree, bro? Or no, he would call you Rosalina.
Ooh.
She just kind of nods.
Stow the weapon.
There it is.
She just kind of nods at him, and then she turns to her left and says, makes eye contact with Ledmilla,
Mm-hmm.
and says, Your expedition, was it successful?
Uh, Success is a pedestrian term. I prefer to think that my pursuits are ongoing and ever present.
What sort of improvements were you working on?
Um, she considers you for a moment. Um, and says, I was looking for things that might prevent our enemies from attacking. And protect my family.
Surely you don't have any enemies that could even hope to challenge you.
All kingdoms have enemies, she says. There is not a single person in the world with no enemies.
We are unfamiliar with this land. Are there even rival kingdoms here?
Uh, she looks up and says, this land is special, unique. This place is a place outside of the normal realms of people. We are isolated, yes, but conflict is everywhere. And if one does not prepare for conflict, then one is a fool. Anastasia says, "Oh, again with the talk of conflict, Ludmilla. I think we could all just get along a little bit better. And perhaps have some more interesting conversations about something more lighthearted." Escher just says, "I'll drink to that." Finishes his cup of red purple.
Well, clearly the conflict doesn't impact your daily lives all that much. I mean, Escher himself attacked the castle not that long ago and is now part of your family.
Um, uh, but there you are mistaken, says Strahd. Escher did not attack the castle. Escher identified a rebel force planning to attack this castle and reported them to the true ruler of this land, as was his right, and as was right to do. Would you not agree?
She looks at Escher and says, "Oh, then I misunderstood. I assumed he had led the rebels here."
Oh, you most certainly did. Where their punishment was meted upon them, as was just. Surely you would not expect for a lord to allow such insolence and rebellion in his own lands. Where an outsider, this Rudolf von Richten, he almost spits the words out, would incite the rebellion against me.
What's that guy's name?
Rudolf von Richten.
The author of the book.
Yep. You found a little piece of a book of his as well.
Didn't he also write about werewolves?
Yep. You were the vampire wolf, the little vampire, the one you found about the vampire spawns
Mm-hmm.
that helped Doru out. But I am sorry, Anastasia. I'm afraid Ludmilla is correct. Conflict is the way of things. A land without conflict is a land of lies. Corvus, you strike me as one that has lived with conflict your entire life. Surely you see, you have never been to a land without conflict.
No, there's conflict among all living things. We can seek harmony, but there's always seem to be those who seek chaos instead.
Hmm.
Whatever happened to this Richten you speak of?
Perished along with the others. He fell from the walls of Ravenloft.
I am rather impressed with where you call it home, up here on this mountain. Other than the towns below, what pretell is below this castle?
Um, Deep in the mountains, you mean?
Of
Well,
course.
This place is but the whisper of what it once was. Used to be many people across the entire floors. Staff. He gestures at one of the floating platters that comes in. Or one of the empty platters of food. Are you guys eating food, by the way, while conversation's going on?
Yeah, Lee is gonna. He's been starving for some really good food, so he's partaking.
Yeah,
Is
it seems pretty well prepared.
Is it like
None of the other people or hosts are eating. Rahadin is eating, but nobody else is.
Does
Interesting.
it look and smell normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you want to roll for it.
I do want to roll for it before I put it in my mouth.
I do want to roll.
Yeah. You can roll a nature check.
Well,
Or medicine check, I think would be fine.
both of these
Like nature.
suck ass.
So they would tell you different informations, I guess. All right. So, Ro, you don't detect any sign of like tampering or intentional spoiling or things like that. And I would say with your nature roll, Corvus, you don't recognize anything that would be like harmful or poisonous as far as like what the vegetables are, the fruits are. They all seem to be edible.
I'm gonna lean. If I'm eating anything, I'm not eating any meat.
Sure.
So that Rodden does eat the food,
Yeah, that's interesting.
but the rest do not.
Yep. No, they are drinking their red though.
Drinking that red.
Yep.
Lee says there's in our first meeting and now there's been a lot of talk of rebels and the disloyal subjects, but what about the loyal subjects? How do they fare?
He nods and says, "Oh, quite a reasonable question. Loyalty is, of course, rewarded in our lands." He would say, the people living under the Lord's rule and giving their loyalty have many benefits, such as receiving the Lord's protections, as well as aid in times of trouble. In return, they are to acquiesce to the Lord's demands. However, those demands should not be too excessive or unreasonable. This is the relationship between any lord and any vassal. In this monastery where you were raised, what sort of leadership structure was there?
We had a council of elders who made the decisions for the monastery as a whole.
And did you see any conflict in your time there? Surely you did.
Sure, yeah, the elders would disagree with one another on what the best path forward was, but they always strive to reach a consensus as best they could.
And it seems as if you are trained as a warrior. What use is a warrior to a monastery?
Yes, that's true. We were tasked with, well, not all of us, but those of us who were trained to fight were tasked with protecting the monastery and protecting those who lived on the mountain in the lower elevations from bandits and raiders and the like.
He nods towards you. 100% left out The Raven pieced out, like,
Okay.
before you guys even got in the carriage, probably.
That's kind of what I thought.
No,
Before the
noped out of this whole
crossroads.
situation. Staying far away from all this. Forgot to mention that part. And I suppose, in return, those in the villages below have their own offerings of aid for the monastery. Perhaps food or anything else?
Yes, they would offer us some food or other furs and the like, but it was not demanded of them or expected.
Oh, why not?
Our protection was given freely. We felt that it was our duty.
You've been exceptionally silent for a woman of faith, Cleric Rowe. I have seen you wear a relic of our own land. He nods towards your holy symbol.
Do you say of our own land?
Uh-huh.
Sure
I
did.
don't like that shit.
Uh-huh.
He nods towards your holy symbol. I have not seen such iconography. Or he said, I have seen such iconography here. The morning, Lord, yes?
She nods.
A message of hope, joy, redemption.
She nods.
So tell me, what do you hope to redeem in my lands? Cat got your tongue.
She looks at him and she says, sometimes. Sometimes hope needs to be rekindled with a spark. Or sometimes a bonfire.
Bonfire is a destructive force.
She nods.
Do you have such fire within you, little cleric?
I have found that once hope is kindled, it can turn into a raging forest fire that runs out of control and changes the entire landscape.
I admire the. I admire and I can agree with the goal to, without fear, strive for what you want. Take it. Start the fire. I've done many things myself in my time. However, he just stares at you for a moment. His like dark eyes just like boring into you.
And she just stares back.
Sure, you don't seem the type to be so callous as to worry about those, as to be uncaring about those that might get burned when such a forest fire rages. These things take lives, many lives.
They do. But if those lives are given willingly and lead to a positive change, then that's an acceptable price.
How many?
you want a number?
Is there no limit for you? How many would you see die to enact the change you wish upon the world? I know my answer.
If those who gave their lives were aware of what they were doing and willing, I don't think there is a limit.
So you believe that a forest fire only hurts those who are actively involved in creating it? That feels naive for one of your years.
When we speak in limited metaphors, it is easy to cast judgment and make generalizations. But I am speaking about human lives
As am I.
and acknowledging that if there are willing sacrifices to bring about a greater good, that is an acceptable loss.
Interesting. If we do not wish to speak in metaphors, I will oblige. I also agree. It is always preferable for those to willingly know what they're going into and have those be the ones that are hurt. However, in my experience, conflict, since that seems to be the theme of the evening, never stops with those who are actively involved. In fact, it often reaches to those who never expected the conflict to reach them. War is dangerous. War is unstable. War is chaos. It is necessary sometimes for these changes to happen, though, for people to get hurt, in order to have a better world for everyone.
I don't speak of war. I speak of revolt and overthrow and the change of a power dynamic that is unjust. War, to me, is two armies meeting to battle over land, territory, resources. That is different than rebellion, revolt, the people rising up and changing things for the better.
It is a commendable attitude, and I hope when this revolt that you are hoping for occurs, I hope dearly that no innocents are hurt along the way. For it sounds like you are not ready for those sacrifices. At this, the door opens. And walking in is a stooped man. And I actually get a picture of this guy. Where you at? Where you at? This guy. Nope, that's not a good picture. That's a good picture. Alright, I'm just gonna share it in Discord because this guy. Opens the door. Master, how is everything going? Is the dinner to your liking? Is dinner to the liking of our honored guests? Sort of stooping and bowing with like almost every word. Cyrus, Please, friends, guests, this is Cyrus Bellevue, our our chef and kitchen master. No, quartermaster, you would say. Cyrus looks up to as you are with like a hopeful smile and grin on his face.
Is the food like objectively good?
Yeah, it's all well cooked. The wine is very good. Seems to be well done, well cooked. It's so I'm guessing that none of your characters have ever had like big extravagant feasts.
Nope.
Probably, yeah.
While there's more of a variety here than you're used to seeing anywhere else in your time in Barovia. The stuff here is all like pretty basic. Like there's a lot of root vegetables. There's some game. It looks like there's some wild game. Like you're guessing maybe some boar if you try that, or hares, rabbits, or deer. But it certainly isn't like. And while everything is well cooked, there's nothing truly like exotic like a royal feast would have. Like this is all pretty. You're guessing all this was like local, right?
Farm to table.
Farm to table.
Forest to table.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all well cooked. The gravy's nice.
Lee will actually stand up out of his chair and go over to the guy and offer his hand and say that.
He goes, ah!
Oh no, Lee.
Wow. Okay.
And then he like kind of pulls his hand back, so he's not to frighten him, but he says the food was delicious. I haven't eaten so well in weeks, I think.
Oh, thank you. He grins. He grins up at you with this like weird like animalistic features and like wolfman kind of face. These little fangs, toothy fangs in a grin. It is my pleasure to serve you all. And he does this like weird bow. And he actually before he leaves, Anastasia I think would say, Cyrus, dear, have you even fed yourself yet? There's plenty here. You cooked for a dozen, and we have but 5 guests. And Cyrus looks to Strahd, who just like quickly nods, and Cyrus like runs up to the table, grabs like a leg bone of something, and just like runs off with his big haunch of meat, eating at it while sort of walking out of the room. Radin, I see you have finished. Would you mind if we proceed with the last order of business for the evening? Radin just stands up silently and starts walking out of the room.
I want my hero point back.
What's the last order of business?
You see, my guests, unfortunately, tonight is not all frivolities. I have a matter of state that I wish your input on. Perhaps you can help me with a bit of a moral quandary.
Oh shit! Somebody's gonna be on trial.
You see, there was a horrible murder done in one of my townships, Valaki. A man in a fit of cruel rage killed his wife and her secret lover. As Lord, I must address this in some way, for these barbaric acts cannot go unanswered. What do you think I should do? No, he wouldn't say, what do you think I should do? He said, as a lord of the land, what would you do?
Lee says, well, I suppose first I would hear from all parties involved, get their version of events.
Hmm. Um, so, a trial has been already been held in the town of Valaki. He's been convicted in this town and sent to me to be dealt with. I am told that he tore a wooden beam from the victim's own house and used it to crush him to death in a fit of great strength. A savage brute. I have been impressed with your martial prowess so far. I want to see what you will do when faced with an enemy that bears no sword. A lord's justice is unlike the justice of the battlefield. It has come time. This creature must pass from this world. How should it be done? Corvus. With that, the door opens and Raiden walks back in. He's holding a chain in his right hand and is connected to a steel collar clamped tightly around the neck of a stumbling figure that he drags behind him. The figure's features are obscured by a sack over their head. Their clothes are torn away and replaced by this threadbare, shapeless robe covering them. The prisoner awaits your judgment, my lord, Raiden says coldly. And at Strahd's nod, Raiden rips away the sack covering the head. You see, it's a man. Their eyes are wide and terrified, but their body has been warped. Muscles are grotesquely swollen, and there's like skin that's all swollen and cracked with fissures running across it, like dried and cracked earth. But most unsettling of all, you see, are four lumps that adorn the shoulders, each of them resembling a tiny, misshapen head, their eyes squeezed shut, almost like a shrunken head on their back. How should this miserable creature, this violent brute, how should they be sent from this world?
Did his affliction occur before or after the crime?
He says this was before. There are some in Barovia who attempt to deal with powers far darker than I. One way or another, they all received a reward in the end, he says, looking at the man.
Well, I'm a firm believer that all could atone for what they've misdone. I'm sure there's a way that he could repair some debts that he's caused. Damages, deaths. I don't believe in an eye for an eye.
He just He just considers you for a moment, Corvus, and then looks to you, Lee.
Lee says, if death truly is the law of the land for this type of crime, then he should face it honorably, but that does not mean he should be tortured for it.
Then how should it be done?
As quickly and as painlessly as possible.
He looks towards you, Ro.
I look at him and I see some great affliction that has befallen him and wonder if his crimes were entirely in his control. My first instinct is to see if he could be cured and continue contributing to society. If that is not the case and he is a menace to himself and others, then I agree with Lee that a swift, painless death is the answer. But pain and torture or trial by combat accomplish nothing.
Okay. Strahd looks back to you, Lee, and says, "It seems as if you are the only one with the spine to do what needs to be done as a lord. And therefore, I wonder if you would do me the honor of performing this execution."
Taking another life is never an honor.
He's looking. Yeah, he was saying that to Lee.
Yeah, but Rose says that. Rose says, when he says that it's an honor, Rose says, taking another's life is never an honor.
Service to your vassals is always an honor. And service comes in many forms. He turns back towards you for a moment before turning back to Lee.
Lee says, I was not the one who was wronged by this man, and I am not responsible for those he harmed. I cannot take his life in this circumstance.
I'd like to stand up.
Yep. You do so.
I'd like to go towards this man.
Sure.
Are you gonna murder him?
And I'd like to reach out my hand.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna touch him.
Okay. Rodin is watching you. He doesn't seem super concerned, though you are enough of a swordsman to recognize that he has a very slight shift to his stance that you recognize as I'm ready to move fast.
My dueling hand is up in the air.
Mm-hmm. Just let you know.
But I'm gonna reach out with my left hand and I'm gonna try to touch him on the wrist, and I'm gonna say something like, "I just simply want to get a closer look." I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'd like to use object reading and see if I can learn anything about either him and or what he is chained to in the last week. I think that's as far back as I can go. It's only a simple level spell.
The man, object reading. Let's do it. You hear a roar of rage within your head. You're doing level 2, right?
I only had it prepared at level 1 though.
Okay.
If I can upcast it, I totally
Okay.
would, but
I think this happened in the last week.
yeah, I think it's just the last week.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this happened within a week. Okay. You. You catch a glimpse of from this where you're assuming you're catching fish on the water in a boat. You're coming home with a basket, a sparse basket with just a few fish in it. Your catch for the day. You're feeling destitute and depressed, worn down. You know it's not enough to earn what you need to earn for your family, for your wife, and you come home to find the woman you recognize as your wife in bed with another, a man you recognize from town. You reach up and tear a wooden beam from the wall of the house and beat both of the people in bed to a bloody pulp, screaming in rage while four voices scream in chorus, a beautiful, harmonious chorus to your own screams. You hear all these screams, and everyone else in the room hears these screams as the figure in the chains clutches their head and grabs onto your left arm. And he says, you hear this, almost this ranting chant from this man in front of you. You think yourselves above me, but you carry the stink. I can smell it on you. I smell it on all of you. The whispers. Do you hear the whispers? At that, as this guy's kind of like clutching towards you and pulling with a yank, probably a bit more strength than you would have expected from the elf, and a bit more dexterity. What you see is Rahadin actually, in one quick movement, probably Lee and Ro, you probably are perceptive enough to catch it. He actually like whips the chain down underneath his foot, steps on it, and kicks it back. So the man goes like slamming face first into the ground, and almost in the same fluid motion, Rahadin's foot goes on the back of the guy's neck and just rests there. But it was a very adept move. And throughout it all, Ro, you were perceptive enough to see not a glimmer of an emotion on Rahadin's face the entire time. Strahd looks at you now, Corvus, and says, have you changed your mind?
I don't... Yes, I think I have. I don't think this man should atone for anything. Unfortunately, I think he's been bewitched or befuddled. And someone egged him on. Or someone's. And I kind of like pause. 4 of them, perhaps, egged him on. He just simply was a lonely man whose wife found love in another and found himself destitute and lonely. I'm gonna step back.
Hmm. He looks over you all. A pity. I had hoped for a better showing from all of you. Oh well, Ludmilla, you will have him instead. I expect you will enjoy inspecting his deformities. And Ludmilla just sort of like gives him a silent nod. The work goes on, my lord. And Rahadin begins to drag the guy back out into the hallway.
As I come back to my chair, I just say quietly to Lee, that man was dead long before we arrived. And I sit down.
Um, well. Strahd looks around the table at you all, seeing that your plates are nearly finished, or are finished. Strahd says, well, I thank you all for the conversation and for humoring me the eccentricities I have of intellectual conversation, both politics, religion, and morality. These things are ideals we should all strive towards learning more about each other and about ourselves. He looks pointedly towards Ro. However, the evening is drawing late. I suggest the night is sadly drawing to a close. If you wish to find accommodations. Based on your demeanors tonight, I assume you do not wish to spend the night within my halls. And based upon your silence, I'll take that as an affirmation.
Bro, you get very much like a, I don't think we should,
Nope. We are not staying here.
But I wanted the grand tour.
Ms. Kulyana, I appreciate the gravity of this situation. I know the amount of fear and courage it would have taken to come here. I am honored by your presence.
Ugh.
And I hope you found your time hospitable.
Oh. I hate him.
He's perfect.
Perhaps. Perhaps. At a later time. He would say, unfortunately, I have my own business to attend to tonight. You are welcome to stay and visit the grounds as you wish. Many rooms I have instructed to be left open for you to walk through. I, unfortunately, will not be able to give you a tour as I wish to do. But there are many people here who could perform such a task. Yeah, he stands from the table.
I'm not rude. I'll stand up and bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lee will stand up. He's not gonna bow, but he'll stand.
Sure. He gives you all like a polite nod. If there is nothing else you wish to discuss, I will wish you all a good evening. He sort of gives you all a semi-nod bow thing and begins to walk off. So Rahadin's out of there. Get out of there, Rahadin. You're not in here.
Get out of there.
Yeah, Strahd throws down a smoke bomb and he's gone. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking walk through a
He
wall.
walks out the door. He walks out the door.
He turns into a bat and he flies away.
It's actually a crow. He's the raven following us the whole time.
Yeah.
Silas says, I believe it will be 2 hours until dusk.
That's a mighty fine talent.
I have been counting the minutes.
Not so much of a mighty fine talent anymore. We gotta
Well,
find you a hobby.
Strahd offered a tour.
It would be rude to say no.
Yeah, he would have mentioned something about like perhaps the next time you're there, he could give you a tour.
Oh,
Himself.
I see.
Himself. He said you were welcome
Right.
to go around the grounds
Right.
yourself if you wish to
Rooms
be.
are open.
And there are many people who could accompany you if you wish.
Yep. No, let's hang out and get a tour. Let's talk to Escher.
Yeah.
You mean not this creepy lady that's definitely a ghost, but
Well,
not really a ghost?
I mean, I trust her more than
I'm
Anastasia.
in it. She's my
darling, I would love to give you all a tour of our castle. Besides, there might be some places that, well, who knows what the Lord left open. We could just find, explore, have some fun.
Oh, I don't like her.
Sasha.
I'm trying for my best Laura Wraith, Rachel.
No, she's awful and I hate her. Okay.
Sasha, do you plan on accompanying us throughout?
But she's not there anymore.
Well, I did enjoy her company.
You look over to talk to her and she's gone.
No, I'm actually most interested in talking to Escher. I feel like if anyone can be like swayed or won back, it's gonna be the new one.
Mm-hmm.
There was kind of some like subtle signals he was giving off earlier about like making the best of the situation.
Uh-huh.
But his true feelings might be a little different.
Well, I mean, I am up for a tour if you're willing to give it, but I don't want just any tour. You seem to be the most willing to entertain. I would love the exclusive tour.
Entertaining is my talent,
Well,
she says.
I knew it the moment I saw you.
Don't flirt with the vampire.
Well, one of my talents.
Well,
We all have our own roles to fill here, she says.
we'll stick with this talent for now. That's, I think, all the evening has in store.
Mm-hmm. Lamilla just sort of like stands up and she's just like quietly walking out.
Oh yeah, she's gotta go murder somebody.
Yeah, you gotta do some.
Yep, that guy
experiments.
is toast.
Uh-huh.
He's not gonna have it easy.
Andy, did Strahd say the name of that dude?
Nope.
Okay. Then I won't be snarky.
Yep. She starts walking out. All right.
Did anyone drink the amber liquid?
No.
Nope.
I have to know. I'm gonna walk over and drink a part of that liquid.
Yeah. It seems to be it's some kind of a brandy, like a distilled. Yeah, because brandy's made out of grapes, I believe. So essentially, it's like a brandy. It's very nice though.
So I take a swig and I go, oh shit. And I pour it into the bigger glass, and then I take
Yep.
Lee's and pour it in there too. All right, I'm ready for this tour.
All right, says Anastasia.
Fuck.
Oh, Anastasia, give it a break already, says Escher. Remember, they are guests. He says with some import.
We are under the protection of Lord Strahd.
Diplomatic
So no funny
immunity.
He kind of says that. He says that with the undertones of "Turn it off, girl." Right. So yeah, are you guys going to try to enlist someone for a tour? He wasn't super clear, as Strahd is sometimes, but he basically said you're free to wander. You're also free to,
GTFO.
ask for a guide, but he basically said, yeah, I left some rooms open.
Yeah, I would be down for tour. I would agree with Abe that Escher is probably our top choice for the tour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say either Escher or we just.
Go rogue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we try to get Escher to do it.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, of course, Escher, I don't mean to persuade you one way or another, but I mean, as the newest member of the household, I feel like you could add a little something that other people couldn't see. I would love to hear you give a grand tour of these epic grounds.
Just stay in front of us if you don't mind, says Irina. he like steals he like poker face really fast after that, but you can see like a flash of mixture of like indignant guilt. Mixture. But he does mask it pretty quick. He is a fairly charismatic dude, but he says, I would be happy to show you around this place. I'm fairly new here.
I mean, you've stumbled into the occasional wrong room or something. I'm sure you've got a tale.
If I stumble into the occasional wrong room, probably nothing bad happens.
Well,
I don't know all of the intricacies of the castle. However, there are many safe places that I could show you that I know are, well, meant to be shown. Especially on this floor and the one above. My expertise in some of the more reclusive areas of the castle are low. I don't know what sort of mishaps may happen.
Well, I've always read that large castles like this not only have rooms for the living, like yourself, but also a place to mourn those who have passed. I'd love a tour of those who live and have passed.
Through the open door, you hear the sound of many marching boots.
Out
out
sure,
here.
That's fine.
As a squad of about 6 or let's say like eight soldiers start marching through in some sort of like a patrol.
Okay.
They are clearly undead, wearing armor, like guardsman armor. They're all in uniform. But they all seem to be, like decayed corpses. They aren't moving with the same like slowness that you would recognize from a zombie. But yeah, they start walking by and then marching through. Neither of the consorts seem to pay them much mind.
Not strange at all.
I think I'm gonna have to bounce.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're gonna do tour next time.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
get late.
It is
Sounds
11:30.
good. Thanks, Andy. It was fun.
It was.
We survived.
We
did
for now.
For now.
Intellectual conversations.
Intellectual conversations.
No one murdered anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We did so good.
You guys didn't even kill the weird mouth, the shrunken head back guy.